Leaving your club to move to a bigger one is not always what it's made out to be. A lot of times players end up wishing they didn't move, and we want to look at a few of such players in this video today. Look at Sadio Mane, for example. When he left Liverpool to join Bayern Munich in 2022, everyone said he was getting a sure upgrade. He'd fit right in at Bayern and it'd be very important for them. And even Bayern thought it'd be all that, considering they decided to make him their highest paid player. But it hasn't worked out well for either party at all. He actually wasn't the right fit. Bayern didn't need a winger. They already had Coman, Gnabry and Sane, so Mane has been forced to play down the middle, which is not his preferred position. Now, with Bayern looking intent on bringing Kane over, it seems Mane's use in the team will further diminish. Already he regrets leaving Liverpool, but he could regret it even more next season. He was very important at Anfield, but now he's at Bayern picking fights with teammates. But Mane won't even be the first person who regrets leaving Liverpool. Philippe Coutinho did too, and he must have felt really deep regret, particularly because of what Jurgen Klopp said to him. He told him that if he stayed, a statue would be built in his honour, but if he went to Barcelona, he would be just another player. But Coutinho still forced his way out, and Klopp turned out to be right. That must have made the Brazilian regret his move even more. Now he's 31, and instead of being a Liverpool legend, he's something of an Aston Villa reject. But someone who's arguably a Liverpool legend who still regretted leaving Liverpool is Fernando Torres. He left Liverpool to join Chelsea in 2011, and he quickly went from being one of the hottest strikers in world football to being one of the biggest flops we had ever seen. And it was crazy how it happened. It felt like Torres switching from red to blue brought some sort of a curse on him. He flopped so bad. We're sure he wishes he never left Liverpool to join Chelsea in the first place. And speaking of Chelsea, Eden Hazard most likely has regrets about leaving the club. Honestly, if he had remained at Chelsea, he would have gotten all he wanted. He had already won the Premier League, and if he didn't move, he would have won the Champions League with them in 2021. And it would have been much sweeter than how he won it with Madrid in 2022. The Madrid move really affected his career, and we're not sure any top European club will take him again, not even Chelsea. But while Hazard surely regrets joining Madrid, Cristiano Ronaldo definitely regrets leaving them. The man was on top of the world with Madrid, winning Champions League after Champions League and Ballon d'Or after Ballon d'Or. But he decided to leave and join Juventus in 2018, and his career just started to go downhill from there. He could no longer make it to the Champions League semi-final. He could not win the Ballon d'Or, and to cap it all off, he then moved to Man United in 2021 where everything just crashed. If he didn't leave Real Madrid in 2018, Ronaldo would probably have won a couple more Ballon d'Ors and Champions Leagues and would probably still be playing in Europe. He is still the GOAT, no doubt, but we're pretty sure he thinks about that decision he made back then and feels some regret. And speaking of ex-Man United players, reminds us of Paul Pogba. This guy was one of the best midfielders in the world when he was at Juventus. He had played in the Champions League final, had won multiple trophies and was highly rated. It's the reason United paid a record-breaking fee for him in 2016. But leaving Juventus ended up being the wrongest choice. You could say that move really derailed his career. He had fallouts with the coach, was subjected to a lot of pressure from the media, and the fans didn't exactly back him. Pogba definitely regrets returning to Man United in 2016. Those were the most important years of his career, but they ended up being wasted. Another midfielder who regrets moving to Man United is Donny van de Beek. This dude was a part of that Ajax team that very nearly made it to the Champions League final in 2019, but it doesn't look like it now. What could go wrong with Van de Beek moving to Man United? Well, everything apparently. He suffered a lot of injuries, and even when he was fit, the coach didn't play him. He was even loaned out to Everton in 2022 to try and revive his career, but injuries came and ruined it all for him. Now, even though he's been reunited with his former manager, it's looking almost certain that he will leave United. But his time at Old Trafford has dealt a huge blow to his career that he may never be able to secure a move to another big club again. One guy with a similar story is Luka Jovic. This guy was a menace playing for Eintracht Frankfurt in the 2018-19 season. He was so good that Real Madrid paid paid 60 million euros for him and signed him on a 6-year contract. He was just 21 at the time, so the plan was that he would be Benzema's long-term replacement. But things didn't pan out how they were planned at all. Jovic barely played, and just a year and a half after he was signed, he was loaned back to Eintracht. A year and a half later, he was sold to Fiorentina. Now, even though he's still just 25, big clubs who are desperately in need of strikers right now are not even looking his way. This would probably have not been the case if he didn't make that Madrid move when he did. He probably regrets taking that big leap back then. Maybe if he'd done what Haaland did, Dortmund first before Man City, maybe he would have been happier with his decision by now. Anyway, speaking of Man City reminds us of Alexis Sanchez. He never played for City, and that's probably one of the biggest regrets of his career. It was reported that City wanted Sanchez in 2018, but he decided to move to United instead, and he regrets that move so much from the very first day. After his first Man United training, he called his agent and asked him if he could go back to Arsenal, and his regrets only worsened. He spent a year and a half at United before going out on loan to Inter, and that entire time was horrible for him. And more significantly, that move seemed to affect his confidence as a footballer, because even after he left United, he was unable to reach the heights he reached at Arsenal or Barcelona. And that mention of Barcelona leads us to the biggest regret of all, Neymar's. Neymar shockingly left Barcelona to join PSG in 2017, breaking up the lethal MSN trio. Messi, Suarez and Neymar went so well together on and off the pitch that we thought that they would last forever, but Neymar broke off the boy band and went independent. So he went one direction while the other two went the other. Reports said that Neymar's reason for leaving was that he didn't want to be in Messi's shadow anymore, only for him to join PSG and end up being in Mbappe's shadow. One season after his big money move to France, Neymar tried to go back to Spain, but it didn't work. He tried a couple more times after that, but it just could not happen. His regret has always been very evident. Had he remained at Barcelona, he would probably have won another Champions League and maybe even a Ballon d'Or. He, for sure, would have cemented his place as a Barcelona legend. Meanwhile, after 6 years at PSG, he's more a villain than a legend. Quick quiz before we leave. There's a player who moved from Dortmund to Bayern and later said that he regretted making that move. What is the name of that player? Let's see who knows their football in the comments. If you enjoyed this video, give it a thumbs up and subscribe to the channel. Also, turn on the bell notification so that you never miss out on new content. We'll catch you in the next one. Bye!